Hey people, I wanted to talk about two subjects briefly. Two subjects. One, no forest on flat Earth, and two, the Mandela effect, and how they correlate, how they relate, how their cores relate, and how they relate. So, first one, I guess, will be Mandela effect, which to my understanding is your current version of history appears different than your remembered. Yeah, your remembered version of history. And those things, of course, can get blurry and conflicted in your own mind as to which is which and if they're different or not. But like old memories that you have, that you identify as old memories, that such and so logo was this color when I was 7 and now it's a different color, and they didn't announce any trademark changes or anything like that, or a Bible verse has changed or whatever. These are the Mandela effects. So in other words, when something changes due to, or in what's called the Mandela effect, if you look back in recorded history, you're not going to find the old version. The old version is only going to be in your mind. So you're going to feel like you're going psychotic, or you're going to have known of the Mandela effect and you won't worry about it so much. I have not personally had a Mandela effect in my own life. Nothing that's jumping out at me, but I also have not seen any orbs, so maybe these supernatural things are not gracing me with their presence yet, for whatever reason. Not saying I want them or I don't want them, but they're interesting. It's interesting to hear other people talk about them. So that's the Mandela effect. In other words, your reality itself that you consider to be pretty solid is actually shifting under your feet. Like the whole history of a certain piece just is changed without announcement, and the only original piece is in your head. So that's the Mandela effect. And that could have a huge wide range from massive things like assassinations or world events, all the way down to a personal level where, you remember having a mole on your pinky and all of a sudden now you don't. Something like that. Like I said, I've never noticed it in my own life, but I also haven't really looked for it. I don't keep around memories very solidly, intentionally. That's just a part of the practice of remaining present, or staying present as much as possible, as per Buddhist ideals. And it's not even just Buddhist. You don't have to even apply a theory or a dogma to it. It's just a fact of our reality, is that we're present always, and future and past are mind-created phenomenon. So that's the Mandela effect. And then the other topic is no forests on flat Earth. That Russian guy made that video. I don't even know when he made it, 5 months back, something like that. And his idea is that all these giant rocks that look like plateaus, these giant mountain-looking things, his idea is that those are actually tree stumps. And the one, I think it's called Devil's Rock or something, Devil's something or other. That one actually, I could see the possibility, and his explanation of the hexagonal shape of the structure of the columns, it made sense. They would be composed of some sort of silicon rather than wood. When I saw that video, I immediately in my, I did resonate with it. I resonated with that idea because the earth does seem like plundered right now. It seems barren, not just physically, but etherically as well. I feel it. I feel there's, it feels, there's a rapage. You know what I'm saying? It's there in the fabric. I feel it, and I think a lot of other people do too. And it encroaches on our own personal consciousness, our personal awareness of the body and everything around it. So I think that's why a lot of people identified with no force on flat Earth. And another thing that reminded me of was the movie Avatar, because Avatar had, of course, that giant tree that they cut down, and that tree was massive. You know, these planes that were trying to shoot it down, they were just specks up against it. This tree, actually, in the movie, was probably a similar size to the trees that the Russian dude was talking about. Oh, and also, no forest on flat Earth just means that there's no real forests if you consider the giant trees to compose the real forests. And our trees that we call now trees are really, compared to those forests, just moss and grass and weeds. So that's what he's saying. But that really reminded me of Avatar, and when I saw Avatar, I was moved so deeply by that movie. I was just like there, you know, just the beauty of that place that Cameron created, and the just how the natives related to their natural environment, how they used it, and they used it lovingly. They didn't plunder, they didn't rape the land, they weren't mining. This is another thing, you know, mining is a common theme in Avatar and No Forest on Flat Earth. No Forest on Flat Earth is basically saying that Earth is a mining colony, and they've mined all the silicon for whatever reason from these giant trees. And in Avatar, you know, they were trying to get that precious metal that was underneath the tree. I forget what it was called in Avatar, but that's what they were after. That's why they visited. They didn't visit to learn anything about the culture or the natives or anything like that. They just wanted to grab power and money, essentially, like all of the corporations we have here. So yeah, those are the ties to those are the ties in my mind between no force on flat Earth and the Mandela effect. And another thing, as far as if you're a creator, if you know you're a creator, if you know you manifest, the Mandela effect can actually, I believe, be a hindrance to that creation, because you're going to resist it. And if you imagine getting into another dimension up where things are much more fluid and things are manifesting immediately, unlike here stuff manifests in its own way, and we have an effect on it, but it's not immediate. We can't just think a rock to move. Maybe some people can, but I can't. We do things slow, you know. If we want to get something, we move our physical body to that thing and we get it. We don't just think we want this thing and then all of a sudden it's there. In these other realms, I'm assuming, because I don't have remembrance of it, I'm assuming that's how it works to some extent, and that's an understatement, and I doubt my words do any justice to what that realm would actually feel like. Our mind in this state probably cannot conceive of it. But in my view, the Mandela effect, if you're keeping in your mind all of these records, these sort of artifacts of history, and you get sort of disturbed if you see that something has changed, that's, to me, that could hinder your own advancement in being able to manifest things. Because if you're in like full manifesting mode and things are changing as you perceive them, and this line between you and the thing you're changing is blurred, your mind won't be able to handle it if you're still constantly remembering what it used to be, because it will be changing so fast. So yeah, so those are my thoughts. It's raining out here and still grinding. I'm almost halfway to my 30-day goal. Wednesday will be 15 days, and then I have the other half, and it'll be downhill after Wednesday, mentally anyway. It's not been bad so far. Holotropic breathwork has helped me a lot, and also communicating with people, some on YouTube, some locally, some family, have kept me going through this, and I have support, and I'm thankful for that. So thank you for everyone on here, even if you're not supporting me in talking about what I'm doing with Lyft and Uber. That's totally fine. Just communicating with you in whatever form, even if it's just watching your videos, it helps a lot. So thank you for all of that. Thank you to all of the people who are producing content that I enjoy. And yeah, I think that'll be the last one for today. So anyway, yeah, take care, guys. Peace.